not only your packet, but we're going to try to make sure that any kind of useful background information that you need is going to be on this website too. And I can give you the address of the website. I'm sure you can see what it is, but I'm kind of lazy when I Google, so I just put in UMN space HUP, and that's UMN for University of Minnesota, and HUP for Hennepin-University Partnership, and it'll come up as one of the first things on the Google site. So this is what the website looks like, and when you see this button the buttons on the right, and you click on Work with Students, that's where you get to the information about that we're going to go over today. And I haven't done this on this, so for some reason that is not. Thank you. Kayla is a student who helps me. This is one of the things that students can do for you. So when you click on Work with Students, you get to our page that has, first of all, information that you've already heard a lot about: why work with students, the fresh perspective, short-term status, fits with short-term projects, a lot of energy and motivation, and potential future employees. And what kind of work can the students do? And you've heard, again, from the panelists about a lot of things, but it can really run the gamut. Everywhere from like fairly sophisticated research and program evaluation tasks and project management tasks, and to event organization. As a matter of fact, today was organized by Rachel and Kayla. So, also you can ask students to do straight administrative work, and so a lot of us do some of that anyway. So they're available to do any kind of work that you need to have done. Depends on how much supervision you got. That's a big factor, and I'm sure you've identified that as a barrier too. So one of the things we have on the website too is a thing that we call preparing the project. We have I think it's already been mentioned that one of the barriers that people have is that they might have an idea, the spark about what they might want to do with a student, but they don't know how to take it to the next step. So we put together a little template for preparing a project. So if you click on that one, you get to this, we call it a planning template. It's pretty much a simple form, but we ask you to say, and this is something that might be useful when you're talking to your colleagues too, or giving something to your boss and saying, here's my idea. So you can kind of say, first of all, what are your business needs that might be addressed for the use of student labor? And I think that's really critical, because it's important to think about giving students an opportunity, but it's more important to me for you to, first of all, identify what you're going to get out of this deal. What business needs are you going to have met? And then the second question, generally, what do you expect to be accomplished by the student, just in general? Do you have a tight timeline, number 3, or do you have any kind of deadlines? That can be really critical when you're figuring out what type of student you work with. If applicable, do you have areas of study or experience that you prefer? And then the 5 and 6, to the extent you can, describe as specifically as possible the job duties that you think that the student's going to be undertaking. And again, if you're at the initial stages, you might not have that nailed down very much, but it just helps you start thinking about this is what you're going to have to put in a posting. And the more specific you can be about what it is that you want, the better fit you're going to get. And then also, to the extent that you know what kind of experience or knowledge, skills, and abilities that people might need to have, identify those. Number 7, expected duration. Do you know is start and end date? Number 8, number of hours per week. Again, these are things that you think of sometimes later, but it's good to think about up front. Number 9 is like who's going to be working with these students. And by now, I think you might have mentioned that they've really got a good system where they not only have a supervisor, but they also have a mentor, and that's 2 different people. So you might want to do something like that, which I think is a really novel way of approaching it. And then we also added on, in some cases, people already have a faculty member that they want to work with, or they want to bring a faculty member on. So I want the student, but I also want to have some kind of connection to the School of Public Health, or the Humphrey Institute, or the law school, or whatever it is. So is there a way that, do we want to also somehow engage a faculty member? And then also, number 11 is just, again, for your own benefit, or talking to your colleagues and your bosses. So you'll see that in the fall and the spring, there's about 19 and a half weeks. And that's something that when you're trying to figure out what your costs are going to be, it was, how many weeks times how many hours times how much per an hour. So you use about 19 and a half to figure that out. And for the fall semester, for example, there's the actual dates. So we have the dates of the semester. And then how many total semester hours are you going to have if the student works 10 hours a week, which is about full time, versus 20 hours a week, which is about half time. So it's $195 versus $390. And then we have the kind of pinker kind of columns that's what undergrads are typically paid. And if you look at again, the hourly rates for the University of Minnesota hires and the Hennepin County hires, those are in the same zone. So anywhere from $850 on the low end for the high end. And it really depends on how much experience and the qualifications and stuff. And Laura will talk about that a little bit more. So then what we did is in this table, we just said, okay, so now just a quick and dirty, so you don't have to do the math. Here's what's going to cost you for a semester. So it can be anywhere from, you see the lowest number there would be, for the summer is $1,100, pretty low. So if you have somebody for like one of the fall or spring semesters at the top rate, more like $5,700, $5,900, it looks like we get a little typo in there. Okay, so anyway, so that's what it costs for an undergrad. Now, a graduate student, if you hire a graduate student through the university, which typically you would be doing that if you're working with a faculty member again. You want to work with a faculty member, and they want to hire a graduate student through the university. This is a very good deal for graduate students because they get tuition reimbursed on that. It also flows through then in terms of what it costs you. Because as you can see, for a graduate student, it's going to cost you about $38.56 an hour. The student doesn't get $38.56. They get about half that. But then the university uses the other half for the tuition reimbursement part. So that's pretty pricey. And if you look down at what you pay for a graduate student if you're hiring through the county, it's significantly less. However, graduate students look for these graduate assistant positions at you. They're highly prized, and you get the creme de la creme, really. So it's like, I'm not saying that you can't get an absolute stupendous graduate student hiring through the county. You certainly can, and you have. But the university, when you're in the university, they strongly encourage people to hire them that way because it's a very good deal for students, and they get that tuition reimbursement. So anyway, this is kind of complicated, but if somebody wants to just try to figure out what it's going to cost me, we've got this table on our website. This is kind of just the same. I'm going to make the same analysis, but I'm starting from a different place. And this one, really all I care about is the kind of work that the student's going to be able to do. So we have this, again, this is from our website. And if you work with an English student, then you're going to hire them as a county employee. That's under how to post for an individual student. If you choose to hire students through Hennepin County, you first of all should contact Laura from HR. And then we also have the posting guide. This is a guide for how to post a goal pass. Again, it seems kind of complicated and stuff, but we're available to help you work through this pretty quickly. These things should be able to post that in a half hour.